Okay, so ready to dive in today. We're tackling client acquisition,
Yeah.
but not just skimming the surface. We're going deep with this guide, Mastering the Art of Client Acquisition.
Oh, I like the sound of that already. This one seems different,
Yeah, they really emphasize building those genuine long-term relationships with clients.
which is huge, right? Because so many businesses, they just focus on closing the deal and then poof, they're gone.
It's like a constant chase, always hunting for the next sale instead of nurturing the ones you already have.
Exactly. And this guide, it kind of flips the script on that whole approach. They're all about building that foundation of trust and understanding, really getting to know your clients and what makes them tick.
Like, forget those generic sales pitches, right?
Mhm.
No one wants to feel like they're just a number on a spreadsheet.
Totally. It's about making it personal.
So walk me through this. How do they say you personalize things in today's market?
Well, for starters, it's about going beyond just using someone's name in an email.
Right.
We've all seen those.
Oh, yeah, hi name, blah, blah, blah. Like, did you even read my website?
Exactly. This guide, it stresses the importance of doing your homework, like really understanding your target audience. What are their pain points? What are their goals? What keeps them up at night? And then you use that knowledge to tailor your message specifically to them.
So instead of saying, hey, we can help your business grow, you'd say something more like, we see you're trying to break into the target market, and we've helped businesses just like yours overcome those challenges.
Now you're talking. You're showing them you've done your research, you understand their world, and you're here to help them navigate it. And that kind of personalization, it makes all the difference.
It's like you're speaking their language. You're not just some salesperson, you're a trusted advisor.
100%. And that leads us to another key point in the guide, the whole multi-channel approach.
Okay, break that down for me. What does that even mean? Are we talking about being on every social media platform under the sun?
It's not just about being everywhere. It's about being strategic.
No.
It's about meeting your ideal clients where they are.
So figure out where your people hang out and then what? Slide into the DMs.
Well, not quite. It's more about creating valuable interactions, whether that's through targeted content, engaging in relevant conversations, or even just being present and responsive in those online spaces.
So quality over quantity.
100%. It's about building those authentic connections that make people feel seen and heard. Because at the end of the day, people buy from people they know, like, and trust.
And that takes time, right? It's not like you can just send out a mass email blast and expect everyone to roll out the red carpet.
Definitely not. Building those relationships, it takes effort. It takes consistency. And most importantly, it takes genuine care for the people you're trying to reach.
And speaking of caring, one thing that really stood out to me in this guide is their emphasis on the onboarding process. Like, they dedicate a whole section to it.
Oh, absolutely, and rightfully so. Onboarding is crucial. It's your chance to solidify that initial connection you've made and really set the stage for a successful, long-term relationship.
It's like the first date after you've made a connection online. It's make or break time.
Exactly. You've got to make them feel valued, appreciated, and excited to be working with you.
So what's their secret sauce? What makes their approach to onboarding so special?
Well, they're all about transparency, communication, and setting clear expectations right from the get-go. No surprises, no hidden agendas, just laying it all out on the table.
Honesty is the best policy, right?
Always. And they also talk about the importance of making the onboarding process as seamless as possible.
Okay, how do you actually do that?
Well, they recommend providing new clients with a clear roadmap, outlining all the steps involved, and setting realistic timelines.
So they know exactly what to expect and when to expect it.
Precisely. No more feeling lost or unsure of what comes next.
That's huge. Because I know I've been that new client before. And it can be so overwhelming when you're thrown into the deep end without a life preserver.
I hear you. And this guide, it really emphasizes the importance of holding your client's hand through that initial phase, providing them with the support, resources, and guidance they need to succeed.
So it's like you're not just handing them a product or service and saying, good luck. You're saying, we're in this together, and we're here to help you every step of the way.
Now you've got it. It's about shifting your mindset from simply acquiring clients to truly partnering with them on their journey to success.
And that's a relationship worth investing in, both for the client and for your business.
Absolutely. When you prioritize building those strong, authentic relationships, everyone wins.
And that's what it's all about, right? Building those solid relationships that last.
100%. That's how you create those win-win scenarios for everyone involved. And, speaking of wins, this guide doesn't shy away from the whole closing deals part of the equation either.
Right, because at the end of the day, we still need to make that sale.
Exactly. But here's the thing. They approach it a little differently than what you might expect.
Okay, I'm intrigued. What's their take on it?
They're really anti those pushy sales tactics that leave you feeling, I don't know, a little icky.
Yes. Like, I can practically smell the desperation through the phone.
Right. No one wants to feel like they're being pressured into something. This guide, it advocates for a much more, I guess you could say, human approach.
So instead of going straight for the jugular, you're taking the time to really understand their needs and then present a solution that genuinely makes sense for them.
Exactly. It's about framing that closing moment as a natural next step in the conversation you've already been having.
So it's less about selling and more about advising.
Precisely. It's about building that trust factor so when the time comes to talk numbers, they're already confident that you've got their best interests at heart.
Because no one wants to feel like they're being taken advantage of.
Right. Exactly. And this guide, they actually offer some great tips for handling those, shall we say, delicate conversations. Like when you're addressing their concerns about pricing, or maybe they're still on the fence about whether to take the leap.
Because let's face it, those conversations can be a little uncomfortable.
Tell me about it. But they don't have to be. This guide, it gives you practical strategies for navigating those situations with grace and confidence.
So it's like having a script, but not a cheesy robotic one. More like a framework for having those authentic conversations.
Exactly. And one thing they really emphasize is the importance of backing up your claims with, cold, hard facts.
Data. Because everyone loves a good spreadsheet, right?
Well, not necessarily the spreadsheet itself, but the insights it provides. It's about showing, not just telling.
So instead of just saying, trust us, this is going to be amazing for your business, you'd say something like, look, we've seen an average of 25% increase in conversion rates for our clients who've implemented this strategy.
Now you're talking. You're not just making empty promises, you're providing concrete evidence.
And that makes all the difference.
It really does. And, the same goes for when you're negotiating the terms of the deal.
Oh, yeah, that could be another tricky one.
Right. But this guide, they encourage you to view it as a collaborative process rather than like a battle of wills.
So finding that sweet spot where both parties feel like they're getting a fair deal.
Exactly. It's not about squeezing every last penny out of them. It's about finding a solution that makes sense for everyone involved and sets the stage for a mutually beneficial long-term relationship.
Because when you approach it that way, everyone wins, right?
Exactly. It's all about shifting your perspective. It's not just about closing a deal. It's about opening a door to a whole new level of partnership.
It's like you're building a bridge instead of just, tossing them a rope and hoping for the best.
Exactly. You're creating a solid foundation for a lasting connection. And you know what? This guide also talks about the importance of bringing in the right people to support those client relationships.
Oh, you mean like building a team that's just as passionate about client success as you are?
100%. It's not just about the sales team anymore. It's about having a solid support system in place. Your customer success managers, your tech wizards, everyone who plays a role in making sure that client feels valued and supported.
It's like you're assembling a dream team.
Exactly. Because when a client knows they have a whole squad of experts in their corner cheering them on, it makes all the difference in the world.
It's like having a personal cheering section. But seriously, that level of dedication to client success, it really sets you apart from the competition.
100%. It all comes back to building those authentic relationships. That's the heart and soul of what we've been talking about today.
It's about treating your clients like human beings, not just transactions. And honestly, out of all the nuggets of wisdom we've uncovered in this guide, I think that's got to be the biggest takeaway for me.
I couldn't agree more. Because at the end of the day, business is all about people, right? Connecting with people, understanding their needs, and helping them achieve their goals.
And when you can do that authentically, well, that's when the magic happens. It's been a real eye-opener diving deep into this client acquisition thing today.
I've enjoyed it.
Me too. We've covered so much ground. But before we sign off, I want to leave our listeners with a little something to chew on.
Oh, I do love a good homework assignment.
So think about your own approach to client acquisition. What's one small change, just one tiny tweak you can make today to start building those stronger, more meaningful relationships with your clients?
Because it doesn't have to be a huge, overwhelming overhaul, right?
Exactly. Sometimes it's those small, consistent actions that make the biggest impact in the long run.
Like maybe sending a quick personalized thank you note to a client or picking up the phone instead of just firing off another email. It's about those little touches that show you're paying attention and you genuinely care.
Because little gestures can go a long way. So go out there and make those connections. Nurture those relationships. And, as always, keep diving deep.